Hello everybody, thank you for coming to our channel Retire Earlier or Better. I wanted to point out some really important aspects that I'm seeing as blind spots in the fire movement.
Holiday today. It's called Ferragosto.
Talking about fire movement as it pertains to a specific window in time, and this window is something that repeats itself and has recurred in the past. People that don't know history are bound to repeat it. You've heard the saying. So this video is not about denigrating the fire movement. I respect the people in it and I respect the ideas behind it. However, having said that, I wanted to point out some really important aspects that I'm seeing as blind spots in the fire movement. This is one of the longest bull markets in history. There's been others, but the fact is that the market has been going up for a very long time, and I'm not trying to tell you, I'm not here to predict the market. I mean, this market could keep going for another 2-3 years, who knows? 2, 3, 4, 5 years, who knows? Markets do whatever they want. One of the things that people talk about is, it's almost reached kind of a cult level where people are just really dogmatic about, oh, you don't want any time out of the market. And I'm not telling people to get out of the market, so let's not be confused about that. I'm not telling people what to do with their finances in this video. What I am saying, though, is that there are some things that are being sort of swept under the rug. And one of them is that after a really long bull market, historically, what goes up must come down, right? I mean, it's just historical, okay? There's an awful lot of people ignoring historical facts. In a bull market, the saying goes, anyone can make money in a bull market. That's the saying. And anybody can just buy. It doesn't take any real study or some kind of a skill to just go in and buy and hold, and everybody can make money in a bull market. Historically, though, long bull markets returns for longer periods. Now, this is something that people will tell you. If you go into the space and ask and say anything about, look, we've been in this bull market so long, what should we do? Or what if the bear comes? And people are told that, well, bears only last 1 to 3 years. Well, if you look at the way the market actually behaves, is that it may take only 1 to 3 years for things to fall. But what typically will happen in a prolonged period of low or no returns is that things will fall rather quickly, and then they'll go up, but they won't necessarily go higher. Or if they do go higher, they only go a little bit higher, and then they just come right back down. And so you've got the period, the 1 to 3 years where they went down, then you've got another year or two where they went back up to break even or maybe a little higher, and then you've got where it comes back down for another 1 to 3 years. So and then you've got another year or two for it to go back up. So you've got a pretty long window there. And so what's not being discussed in a market where, it's a bull market and it's a really long bull market and everybody's making money in the bull market, nobody really cares, or nobody's talking about any other scenario, because the people that would have invested in the year 2000 would not have seen any gains until 13 years later, and these would have been really small gains. So yes, in the long run, for somebody that would have retired in 2000, for them to stay in, this is where the stay in the market thing comes in. If you would have just stayed in the market in the long run, you would have been doing very well right now after the bull market finally does come on the scene. But the thing that is being ignored here is that if you're somebody that has retired off the market, let's just say as an example, and I'm not saying it's going to repeat itself, but as we know, what goes up must come down, and historically speaking, after long bull markets, there's usually periods of low or no gains. So if you had retired in one of these periods, let's say the 2000, it would have been 13 years, and yes, you could have held till 2019, but that's 20 years later. So it is 20 years later. So if you were 50 years old when you retired, you would have been in your 60s until you saw a break even, and you wouldn't have started seeing any gains until you were in your mid 60s and until you were 70. For the person that would have retired, say at 50, they would have seen the majority of their retirement years with really no gains.
Man, I wonder what it's like being a cattle owner.
In Italy, they like to do fireworks during the day.
That wasn't a firework, that's a firecracker. That's like a cannon.
That was a cannonball.
Now, I'm not trying to say there are no options. I mean, I realize that you can just live off your principal. But what I'm talking about here is the blind spots of the fire movement and why it's in trouble right now at this moment in time. You know, the prescribed way of doing things within this movement are to stay in the market at all times. And seeing that we are in a very long bull market right now, you are most at risk for somebody entering the market right now and wanting to retire to have this kind of a scenario. Now, again, I'm not timing the market, and I'm not trying to tell you what to do. Go ahead and retire if that's what you had planned on doing. I'm simply making a video about some of the blind spots in the movement and what my ideas and thoughts are on it, as I have been in the financial independence, early retire space for all my life, over 3 decades. And so this is a very interesting to me subject, and so I want to share it with you.
You're doing it though.
We should get a ginger. Here's the one I want. Ginger. That one.
That looks good. Oh my God!
So the solutions being offered in the space for those that are concerned about these issues of such a long bull market and perhaps a bear market in the wings is that, well, you know, you can ratchet down your spending or you can go back to work. Now, to me, those solutions nullify all of the effort that someone would have put in to sacrificing their life and delaying gratification, delaying everything about life that they have built a hope for in this future date of fire date. And so if you worked so hard to achieve this only to have to go backwards and go back to work or spend less, as is being said, to me is counterintuitive to the whole idea of fire. And this brings up something I said in a different video that I talked about, and that is piffy or piffier. Remember what a piffy is. It's a professional, industrious frugalist, financially independent, and also early retired. Piffy. With piffy or piffier, we are not concerned about recessions, we're not concerned about down markets, because we have the strategies, the techniques, we have the attitude and the ability to be in a position where we are possibility thinkers and we are achieving the goal that we wanted to achieve at our fire date, and we are able to achieve it in such a way that it doesn't really matter what the economy is doing. And for those of you that are well off, it also gives you the achievement of satisfaction. And for those of you that are already retired early, piffy would give you a reason to get up out of bed in the morning and a reason to be industrious, and yet not affect your quality of life, your standard of living. You wouldn't have to do this thing where you go back to work. You can if you want to, You know, so it's all about choices and what you want in life, and piffier makes your life better.
Little boy is playing right there
So we can definitely agree on these things, that what goes up must come down, right? It's the law of gravity. I'm not giving you anecdotal, you know, opinions. If I give you an opinion, I tell you, but it is based on observation and facts. I'm saying that it's a historical fact that can easily be researched, that low or no returns always come after a very long, big bull market. It's historical, guys. If you like the video, you know what to do. If you like the video, please share it on your social media. Thank you.